Hey, it's the Bachelor Day and I'm back with my student course. Today I'm talking about how to save waste because you're probably going to be cooking for yourself and everything comes in huge packages. So how can you save waste, make your food go further? A lot of people get bored when you think about, saving waste. What does it matter if I throw a little bit out? Think about it as money. Everything you throw away, you have to rebuy the next week. So if you can make your food go further, you make your money go further. That is the best way to think about it. So I'm going to give you some top tips today, okay? My first one is really simple: freeze your bread. You'll probably have a fridge with a tiny freezer in it. It will probably just fit enough that you could jam a loaf in the side of that tiny freezer, okay? So you want to keep bread frozen as much as possible, because you're probably not going to go through a huge loaf really quickly before it starts to go mouldy. When you freeze it, you can simply even just put it in little bags like this. You're just taking all the air out of it and then freezing it like that, and that'll last for ages. Even if you don't have a freezer, if you store it like this, it'll last way longer. When you do take it out of the freezer, you can pop it in the toaster straight away from frozen. You can make toasties with it. But even if you just take it out and lay it on the side, it's only going to take like 15 minutes and it's going to defrost. Bread's full of air, so it defrosts really, really quickly. So keep bread in the freezer. Also keep other things like bagels. If you like bagels, but you buy a whole packet, you maybe don't want to eat, a bagel every single day. Take out a few for the week ahead. Get the other ones in the freezer. There's your couple of bagels for next week. They work exactly the same. If you want to pull them apart so that they're like sliced in half, then they'll defrost really quickly as well. You can put the two frozen halves straight into your toaster or into your toasty maker. You can do this with scones, lots of bread products if you end up buying a big pack of them. Okay, my next top tip is, instead of buying tons and tons of fresh fruit and veg, go and see how much that you can buy that is frozen. So for example, rather than buying 3 onions in a pack, quite often you have to buy, maybe not going to use 3 onions, just buy a bag of ready chopped frozen onions. You can just scoop out what you need if you're cooking something and then put the rest back in the freezer. You can do the same with your frozen peas or anything like that, and you're instantly going to start saving money. 20% cheaper than buying fresh if you buy frozen, and not only that, you're going to be using it over and over and over again. So really good for lovely things that you like, edamame beans and things that you love, that are maybe going to be really expensive to buy fresh. They're way cheaper buying frozen. So if you've got a little freezer, then fill it up full. In terms of things like cheese, which can be really expensive on a student budget, these are now this pack is coming in at £5.50 now. If you're not going to use all your cheese, cut it into cubes or grate it and throw the little flat bag that'll fit in any size freezer, throw it in your freezer, and then you've got cheese that's going to last and last, instead of just leaving it to go mouldy in the packet. You're not going to have to throw it in the bin, and the next game week when you need cheese, you're only pulling out your little packet, okay? So it's just about thinking about it as you do your shopping. How am I going to store it? That should be, rather than just putting it away, how am I going to store it so that I use it and I'm going to have less waste, save money. And then when it comes to things like pasta, I've got pasta in here. Rather than it's too easy sometimes to just pour pasta into a pan or rice into a pan, and you end up cooking tons of it, taking what you need and putting the rest in the bin. Just get used to weighing it out. So like a small mug like that's a small mug, filled to the top is 100 grams of pasta. Usually we eat between 80 grams and 100 grams as one single sitting. So you know that you just pour it into your cup first, and then that's how much pasta that you need. Your pasta bag will then last way longer because you're not throwing any of it in the bin. Saving waste saves you money, and it's really simple to do. It's just about thinking about it as you buy the food. How am I going to store it? Hope that helps.